welcome to the Final 9 Head of Household competition for Big Brother Hometowns Season 9. I have all of our competitors backstage ready to compete in tonight's very important, they're all important, Head of Household competition. Here's how it's going to work. In a moment, I am going to bring on our first two competitors that were chosen at random. It was Rachel and Shane. They're going to compete head-to-head, and I'm going to ask them a trivia question. Whoever gets closest to the correct answer will survive and select the next two people to compete. We will do that over and over again until we're down to our last two. They'll answer the final question, and we'll be left with our head of household. Question number 1. In what year did Jackie Robinson become the first African American to play Major League Baseball in the 20th century? Go ahead and reveal them to me. Shane says 1940. Rachel says 1983. The correct answer is 1947. Rachel, you are OUT out. Shane, who are the next two people that are going to compete?
Mitchell and Colin.
Question number 2. How many total spaces are there on the Candyland board? Show them to me.
Ooh.
Colin says 62. Mitchell says 70. The correct answer is 134.
Wow, they're way off.
Colin,
Right. Congratulations.
out of there. Mitchell, who are the next two people to compete?
Shane and Slade.
In what year was the original Nintendo Entertainment System released?
I said 1987.
And
1972.
I gotta do some quick math. Correct answer is 1983, and if my math is correct, that means Slade is closer.
Woohoo!
All right, Shane, you're out of here. Slade, who's next?
Who was even in it? I don't remember.
Let's see. Mitchell, Edmo, Kaylee, and Pietro.
Okay, Kaylee and Edward, y'all haven't gone, so y'all can go. Sorry.
Question number 5. How many miles long is the Nile River? The correct answer is 4,160. Kaylee, not close.
Pietro and Slade.
Question number 6. In the average bag of milk chocolate M&Ms, what percentage are blue?
18%.
Slade said 18. Pietro said 20. The correct answer was 24, so that means Pietro is closer and he stays alive. All right, Pietro, who is going next?
Who's left?
Let's see. I believe Mitchell and Edmo. So that's all your options. If I'm wrong and someone's still in that shouldn't be, I think we're good. All right. Pietro will keep you on because you'll face the winner. All right, so Mitchell and Edward, here we go. In what year did the pilot episode of Seinfeld air? All right, here we go. The correct answer is 1989. Mitchell, you nailed it.
Hey, it's my birthday. It's when I was born.
All right, so Edward, you are out. And this is our final two. Hold on, let me
Good luck,
pull up.
Pietro.
How many two-letter English words are acceptable in the game Scrabble? 97, 21. The correct answer is 101. Mitchell, congratulations. You are the next head of household.
Thank you.
Let me tell you about this HOH competition. We could have not gotten more lucky at the start of this competition for it to be Rachel and Shane. For two of them to start off the competition and one of them already gone right from the jump. Fabulous. Fabulous.
Losing two huge allies the last 2 weeks. Dina, then DK. The writing was on the wall. The lines are already in the sand. We had to win this HOH. There's no other choice. And if we're looking at things, it really comes down to me and Colin, because I feel like I love Edward and Kaylee, but they haven't performed all that well in challenges. So the burden of having to win really fell on our shoulders. And who are the first two people that have to go? Me and Colin. Really? We gotta knock each other out? And it comes down to me and Pietro. I've put him up. He's put me up. Two people just going at it. And this was some like Chicago Bulls down 1 with 8 seconds left on the clock, and you're giving the ball to Michael Jordan, seeing what happens. And that's what it felt like. And I wrote down my number, showed it up, and I took it home. HOH belongs to this guy for the second time this game. Let's go. Now, I'm not too sure where a few people lie in this grand scheme of things, but I have to put up two people that I feel like if they were to win POV and they weren't on the block, they would save the other person. So I'm going to have to force them, if they win POV, to save themselves instead of saving the other person, and then my HOH is just a complete waste.
So I've been thinking about our alliance a lot. I'm really happy in the spot that I am in. I feel like, based on competition prowess, people like Colin and Mitchell will be ahead of me in case someone gets targeted. If they want to take out a lesser person, maybe they do take out me or Kaylee. Kaylee's more welcome in the community. So, I guess in that aspect I could be screwed. But I'm hoping it all works out. And the fact that Mitchell won this HOH and that's 3 guaranteed votes of how this vote is going to go, we could do whatever we want. So, this round, last round they ran shit, this round we'll run shit. And they better be ready.
Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday. TGIF. It's the weekend. As part of HOH, of course, I have to put up 2 people for eviction, and I feel like in this game I'm kind of left out of a lot of things, left in the dark the vast majority of the time. And so, you know, when I come into these powerful situations, it becomes a little difficult for me because I never really know where anybody's at because I'm left in the dark so much. So I just have to go with my gut. Nothing personal. It's all game. Hope everyone can understand that and respect that. But the 2 people I'll be putting up for eviction are Rachel and Slade. Best of luck to you both in the POV. Ball out, and see you guys soon.
Well, this is Slade's confessional updates. And it seems like the damn Juror 3 curse transcends Survivor and has pursued me to Big Brother. Because I'm the target tonight, and tonight is Juror number 3. God. I did the veto comp. I feel pretty good, to be honest. But I'm not letting myself get my hopes up. And I know that I'm the target. So unless I can convince Colin, Pietro, Kieran, and Shane to keep me over Rachel, it's game over for me tonight. Which does suck. I've had a lot of fun with this game. And I don't really want it to be over. And I'm actually kind of sad. So let's pray to God me or Kieran won that veto, or even Rachel. If Rachel can come down, I think that'll be good for me. Unless Kieran goes up. God, why did Pietro have to get an English question? He should have just conceded it to me. I said 100. I would have been HOH. It just sucks. Oh well. Damn, Juror 3 finna get me again.
What is up, guys? The results are in, and we had a close one. We had 2 people get 14 out of 25 correct. Then we had 2 people get 15 out of 25 correct. So I took those 2 people that were tied, and I told them to do the quiz again, knowing that they had 15 correct, so they could try and do better or worse. Those 2 people went again, and they each got 13 out of 25 correct, so they both did worse, but they both tied again. So then we decided to go straight to a tiebreaker question. The tiebreaker question was, how many total letters were there in the word scramble HOH competition? The 2 people tied were Mitchell and Slade. And winning today's all-important power of veto, congratulations, Slade, you have won the power of veto.
So, Slade won veto. Not great. Don't like that. Don't really like that at all. It's fine. We'll get rid of Rachel, and things will just keep moving.
No, like, Slade won the veto, and I was really rooting for Mitchell to win that one, because now that Slade's gonna take himself off, I think I'm very likely going to be the replacement nominee.
I'm literally shaking. I cannot believe I won. Holy fuck. I'm using the power of veto on myself. Eat my ass, Mitchell.
Congratulations, Slade, on winning POV. Since Slade has decided to take himself off of the block, that means I have to put up a replacement nominee. Again, this is nothing personal, strictly gameplay. I already have a lot of blood on my hands, so I'm just trying to reduce that best I can. So unfortunately, I have to put up Pietro on the block. Best of luck to you both.
A confessional, and I'm not in my car. Crazy! Oh my god. Today has been freaking annoying. It's been a whirlwind. Very emotional day. I'll get put on the block. Duh, saw that coming. No shock there. Then, I go to this freaking tiebreaker. I'm like literally dying. And then I go to another tiebreaker and I'm literally trembling. And I know it's against Mitchell because I just fucking know because Mitchell is a smart, dumb bitch at the same time. So then we get to it and I finally fucking win. Thank God. And then freaking Mitchell puts up Pietro in my place. So now it's between Rachel and Pietro, which are my 2 of my 5. But honestly, at this point, Rachel gotta go. I trust Pietro more. He's got less options in the game. He has to kind of work with me, whereas Rachel has options. She's personable, and she'll probably beat me in the end. And she's kind of done some stuff where she just feels a little shadier, but I love her to death, and it sucks. But ultimately, me and Kieran just got to get to the end, and Pietro's a lot easier to use, and Pietro is better at comps. So that's kind of the thought here. Okay, that's my confessional. Bam.
So there's a clear division in this house where Shane, Slade, Rachel, Pietro, and Kieran are on one side, and then we have us 4, myself, Colin, Edward, and Kaylee on the other side, and we're in a minority right now. And so we're taking out one of their numbers, but I have no idea what going forward because I'm putting so much faith in Colin and then Edward and Kaylee when Edward and Kaylee have not shown to be reliable at all in any sort of competition. And so for me to be safe next round, I'm really, really, really hoping Colin steps up, wins, and takes another shot at the other side of the house. Kieran verified, those 5, and she even said, Shane is definitely part of that. And then Shane's over here being like, oh yeah, we're together. So I just have to play that game, play that I'm with him, although I'm definitely not. I see that he's tied up with other people. But as long as he thinks that I think he's telling the truth, then I think we're going to be okay. And if he were to win HOH, he maybe would try to take out someone else. I'm just putting a lot of faith in the people and hoping that I'm trusting the right people at this point. I really wish Dina and Daniel were still here.
So I tried to get Mitchell to put Kaylee as a replacement nominee, like pretending no one was going to vote her out. When my strategy was to make Mitchell nominate Kaylee, and me and my alliance of 5, we would all vote Kaylee out. However, Mitchell was woke, unfortunately. He just told me that Kaylee would be going home if she was up on the block, and that he was gonna put me up because I'm not going home, and he knows 100% I'll be safe. I'm just I do think I'm gonna have the votes to stay. It looks like it's gonna be an unanimous vote. Rachel said she's not going to campaign against me, but I have to campaign. I cannot let other people decide my fate. So even though Rachel told me she's not going to campaign, I'm definitely campaigning to stay.
What's up? Gotta cast a vote too bit. Rachel, sorry, vote too bit to you. It was fun playing with you though.
Alright, I sadly vote to evict Rachel.
I 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 sadly vote to evict Rachel.
Hey house guests, the votes are in. Once I reveal the vote, the evicted house guest will have a few minutes to say his or her goodbyes and gather their things and get out of this house, where they'll become the third member of the jury. By a vote of 6-0, Pietro, you are safe. Rachel, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house.
Alright, hello viewing party people. I feel good about this day. I feel good about my game. So let me just give you an update. Basically, last night I sat in on the HOH competition, even though I couldn't compete because I was desperate to know who won, and literally all I wanted was Edward not to win. But I got even luckier and Mitchell won. And there was a minute where I was kind of doubting Mitchell and I's alliance. I was like, yeah, he probably wouldn't put me up, but maybe I don't know if he would ever vote to save me. You know, which I feel is this whole game because everyone's voting unanimously, obviously, so it's hard, is anyone really trustworthy? Is anyone really, reliable in an alliance, you know? So, basically, I was talking to Mitchell, I was like, whatever you do, do your thing, and pretty much our 5-person alliance, Pietro, Slade, Shane, Rachel, all knew he was going to come for us, obviously. So he ended up putting Slade and Rachel up against each other, which I thought was awesome because he was like, yeah, let's shake things up a little bit, and I was like, amazing. Honestly, I was hoping Slade went home a little bit, which I feel crazy to say that because I'm working with Slade, and I feel like Slade trusts me and I trust Slade. But ultimately, he has to go home eventually if I'm going to win this game, and it would be amazing if someone who's not me takes him out. Yeah, so I was just kind of feeding into Mitchell about how, yeah, Slade is a threat, and it seems like everyone thinks Slade's a threat. So I'm not worried about him winning because someone will get him out for sure. Anyway, Slade turns around and wins Power Veto, which I tried to throw it. Well, I did throw it because I didn't want to be stuck in a position where I had to not save one of them, or I had to save one of them and kind of put Mitchell in a weird spot, you know? So Slade won. Obviously, he took himself down. And immediately I messaged Mitchell and I was like, hey, what are you thinking? And he wanted to get on a call with me. Well, earlier today, I had said to him, okay, we're about to be final 8. So, if we really want to make it to the final 2 together, we're going to need to come up with a strategy to make it to the final 4. And he was like, great, after tonight we can get on a call. Well, he ended up wanting to get on a call once he had to make renoms. And I was like, okay, Mitchell, are we going to do this thing? Are we going to make it to the end together? Because ultimately, I'm not cut out for these games. Obviously I'm doing a good job. I know I'm playing good. But I'm not, really good with, the lying, cheating, being shady, just, on my own. I feel like I need to have a purpose. So if Mitchell's playing me, it is what it is. But I don't think he is. But at least now I have someone who's all right, we are going to the end together. And I'd rather, be so loyal to him and have him screw me over than have to be, shady and cheat and do all this stuff on my own. So I basically just told him everything. I told him about our alliance. I told him about what they're saying about him. I told him all the things, which he maybe knows some of it, but whatever. Turns out I don't think that other half of the house is in a group message together, as in Kaylee, Edward, Colin, Mitchell. So they're not as close as our the 5-person group message thought that they were, which I kind of suspected after they were all kind of talking to me separately and on different things. Which makes it even easier to stay in the game because they're not all unified gunning for us. But basically Mitchell and I were okay, best case scenario, he picks off the people in my little group and then I take care of the other half of the house. But obviously not directly. He has influence over people and then I have influence over my people. I just try to keep him safe and we slowly get out those people and he tries to keep me safe as they get out our people. So then when we were talking about renoms, we were keeping that in mind. And I was like, okay, Mitchell, you can't put up Kaylee Edward, who plays this game, or Colin, because they would go home. Rachel would have the votes to stay. So it needs to be someone in our alliance. So that leaves Shane or Pietro. Well, he was saying he kind of talks to Shane, which of course Shane is so sneaky. And I was like, well, you've already put up Pietro, so that's an easy out of why to put him up. And ultimately, I don't think Pietro's going to win this game. So I'd rather keep him in than, like, I don't know. I'd rather, like, him be mad at Mitchell than Shane, because I feel like Shane could do some crazy stuff to, like, try to get Mitchell out if he puts him up. So I was like, I'd rather you keep Shane in your corner, because then if Shane turns around and wins HOH, I don't have to, like, pull some Hail Mary to try to get him to not nominate you. That'll just be easy. And then all he has to worry about is Pietro, and really all I have to worry about is Edward. Yeah, so that's kind of our strategy going forward. It's just like, this game is so hard because it just like goes day to day of like, depending who wins HOH, we have to like build our strategy around that. My whole goal of this entire game has been to like subtly shift the narrative in every conversation that I have. I mean, I think Mitchell's like catching on to that too, but like when I talk to Slade, I'll throw in little things that plant distrust about like Colin. So for this HOH, I tried to make Slade think like very subtly. I didn't actually say this straight because then he'd be like, oh my gosh, you're lying. But very subtly making him think like Colin was actually the one behind the noms going up, kind of trying to make him think like Mitchell isn't going for anyone. He was just doing what Colin said. So then if Slade goes up, he goes for Colin rather than Mitchell. Just that kind of thing. So hopefully that's a good strategy. I don't really know. I'm just trying to win this game, y'all. At this point, I don't think anyone's gonna like really coming for me. So if I end up getting out, it would just be a circumstance of unluck, I think. I don't know. Y'all know more than me.
This upcoming head of household is imperative. It gets us to final 7. It is a letter and a number combination, and then with that letter and number combination, you have to get a Scrabble approved word that is that letter and number combination. So like for D3, it would be dog or something like that. Myself, Mitchell, Colin, and Kaylee decided, you know what? Let's make a Google sheet with words ranging from 2 letters to 14 letters of every letter of the alphabet. So the only issue is we just have to be quick on the draw. But we have so many fucking words. Most of these words I've never heard of because I'm just a dumb bitch. But that's okay. As long as they're Scrabble approved, I'll be dumb bitch all day. I won't know, I'll give you a word and won't know what the fuck it means, but listen, if I get the point, that's what I'm here for. Okay, as some of you may or may not know, I am a Funko Pop collector. You could see some right there in the background. I finally figured out what our alliance is like. Just give me a second. This is for the more mature people who have been on this earth longer, so sorry, young people. This here is Earl Sinclair from Dinosaurs. This is the father figure of the group. I'm going to say this is Mitchell. I don't want to say he's like a leader, but he's just a strong figurehead for our group. Maybe that's just my perception. This is Fran Sinclair, the mother figure of our group, and that would of course be Kaylee because she's a strong woman, and yeah. Next we have Robbie Sinclair, the handsome young male of the Sinclair family, which would obviously be Colin. He is missing a neck beard, which is unfortunate, but that's just what it is. And last, but certainly not least, Baby Sinclair. That's me. I'll hit a bitch with a frying pan. I don't care. I also tend to say, ha-ha, gotta love me. And for those people who don't get this reference at all, I have something for you too. This is Shawn Mendes. This is for the young people and the Canadians. Stitches, Mercy, there's no holding me back. Am I right, senorita?